Hey, Commanders fans, are you excited about our front office's bold moves? Hold on tight because you need to see this analysis until the end. Believe me, even with all the heavy signings, a bombshell was dropped by one of the league's most respected analysts, revealing two serious concerns in the Washington Commanders offense. I'm going to throw out the burning question. Are we really prepared for the future, or are we betting everything on the present? And don't forget, in this video we have 3 pieces of news that will delve into the behind the scenes of the Commanders. Today, we're going to talk about a potential first-round draft pick and assess the risk of Adam Peters being fired. Let's get straight to the point. The Washington Commanders are clearly making the most of Jaden Daniels' contract, betting big on high-profile names. They brought in none other than Deebo Samuel, one of the most versatile wide receivers in the NFL, as well as Laramie Tunsil, a dominant left tackle who is here to protect Daniels' blind side. With these additions, the offense led by Cliff Kingsbury promises to be even more explosive than it was last season. Just to remind you, we finished with the 5th best offense in the league in 2024, so the expectations are sky high, but not everything is perfect. Journalist Ben Standig from The Athletic pointed out 2 areas that need attention: the lack of speed and the absence of guaranteed offensive pieces for the future. Yes, the offense is strong now, but will it remain competitive in the coming years? Today we have a cohesive group, but many of these key players have contracts expiring or are about to become free agents. In other words, the landscape could change drastically after the 2025 season, which is why planning intelligently is becoming urgent. Let's take a look at the contracts. Deebo Samuel was traded for just 1 year. Zach Ertz also signed for 1 season, and players like Terry McLaurin, Brian Robinson Jr., and Austin Eckler are entering their last year of contracts in 2025. This means that depending on the next offseason, we could easily lose a significant part of our current offensive backbone. That's concerning, right? Especially when we know that free agency is unpredictable and these types of moves don't always depend solely on the team's will. So what would be the safest path? The answer is clear. Strengthen the offense in this draft. There's plenty of talent available, especially at wide receiver and tight end, and adding young names now could be the push we need to avoid an offensive blackout in 2026. It's the kind of strategy that balances the desire to win now with the responsibility of keeping the team competitive in the future. After all, what's the point of building a super offense if it's about to fall apart in a year? And here's the central point, fans. Will the Commanders really open their eyes to this? Will the front office resist the temptation to think only about the present and also invest in what's ahead? Betting on young talent, especially with Daniels being shaped as our quarterback of the future, could create chemistry right away, planting the seeds for an offensive dynasty. This might be the next big move the front office needs to make to ensure stability for more seasons. The draft is just around the corner, scheduled for the end of April, and this will be one of the most strategic decisions for the new staff. The fan base can get excited about the names already signed, but they need to stay alert for what comes next. After all, is it worth paying so much for a strong offense today if tomorrow we might be left with little or nothing? It's a heavy discussion that will influence the franchise's next steps in the NFL for years to come. Now, the news is simply unmissable. If you want to know which name could revolutionize Washington's defense and why he's being called the most explosive player of the 2025 draft, then stick with me until the end. A talent that could change the course of our franchise is on the radar for the first round, and I'm going to break it all down for you here, step by step. But I'll say this, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, do it now. Hit the bell, leave a like, and comment on what you expect from the draft. This helps our content reach more passionate fans like you. Now, let's get straight to the point. The Washington Commanders are preparing for one of the most decisive moments of the offseason, the NFL Draft. And the coaching staff is keeping an eye on someone who could represent a game changer for the defense. The name of the moment? Nick Emenwari, defensive back from South Carolina. According to respected analyst Bucky Brooks, this guy is the most explosive player in the entire 2025 class. And look, that's not just any compliment. When we hear this coming from someone who understands the game, it's worth paying attention. And Emenwari's explosiveness is not just combine talk. We're not talking about that type of athlete who shines in drills and then disappoints on the field. Emenwari delivers high-level productivity. We're talking about a defender who can impact the game in multiple ways, from firm tackles on running backs to interceptions that turn into dangerous counterattacks. He is fast, strong, and most importantly, decisive. Exactly the profile our defense needs to elevate its game. Just to give you an idea, the kid ran the 40-yard dash in 4.38 seconds, has an insane vertical jump, and can keep up with even the most agile receivers in the draft. He covers the field from sideline to sideline with ease and is a true hunter on the field. And you know what excites me even more? He doesn't falter in coverage. On the contrary, that's where he shines. His versatility makes life easier for any defensive coordinator, especially in a system that needs more aggression and presence in the middle of the field. This is exactly the type of talent that can transform our defensive system. Imagine our front pressuring the quarterback, while Emanwari waits to capitalize on any mistake. This changes the dynamics of the defense. With the secondary needing an upgrade, this would be a first-round pick that not only makes sense, but could elevate us to another competitive level this season. We can no longer rely solely on mediocre names. We need a rising star like him. And check this out, fans. With the draft happening on April 24th, speculation is already heating up. Emanwari is a strong candidate to be picked in the first round, and the Commanders could very well be the team to secure this gem. But the atmosphere in the NFL changes quickly, and everything can shift. The question remains, will the front office take a big risk on someone like Emanwari, or will there be a surprise coming? For those of you who cheered with every win last season, who were moved by our team returning to a high level after so many disappointments, you need to stick around until the end. The name behind this turnaround is Adam Peters. And even after leading the Washington Commanders to a surprising conference final, he now faces one of the biggest challenges of his career: maintaining success and proving that last season's fairy tale can turn into a real and lasting story. Let's quickly recap what happened. Last year was simply magical. Adam Peters took over with planning and ambition, a true cultural and technical rebuilding project. But, to the surprise of even the most optimistic, this project took off much faster than expected. There were 12 regular season wins and a historic spot in the NFC final. The scenario seemed like a dream for us fans who spent 20 years watching the team struggle. However, according to NFL analysts, this meteoric success also brought a new problem. Expectations skyrocketed. Gary Davenport from the Bleacher Report was one of those who raised an important alert. He gave Peters a 210 rating on a metric that evaluates the risk of GM firings, meaning Peters has stability in his role. However, Davenport also highlighted that the greater the success, the greater the demands. And that, my friends, is the harsh reality of the NFL. Each season is like starting from scratch. Doing a good job once may earn you credits. Repeating the feat solidifies your legacy. And it is against this challenge that Peters must now fight. What impresses me as a fan is that Peters is genuinely making moves to keep the team competitive. He renewed contracts with key pieces from the successful campaign, wasn't afraid to bring in experienced veterans, and made smart trades. And all of this while keeping room to invest in the draft. But this shows that he's not just reacting to success, but trying to plan for a sustainable long-term foundation. And let's be honest, that's rare in the NFL. Many GMs become complacent after a good season and end up destroying the structure in the following years. Still, maintaining this winning base won't be easy. In 2020 out, we will have a roster with undeniable talents, including Jaden Daniels, our promising quarterback, a strengthened offensive unit, and a defense that is becoming increasingly solid. But we will also face a much tougher schedule and step onto the field with opponents treating us as a target to take down. The weight of responsibility has increased, and the pressure will come from all sides: media, fans, and the league. At the center of this pressure is Peters, who continues with a clear plan. He believes in continuity and wants to build a true winning culture in Washington. That mindset of arriving once and then disappearing is not part of his vocabulary. The goal now is to establish consistency. The upcoming 2025 draft will be another opportunity to show that the front office has a vision for the future. It's in these choices that franchises solidify their place at the top for years. However, as a fan, I can't help but feel a twinge of concern. Because inevitably, questions arise. What if the team doesn't replicate the 2024 campaign? What if the new signings don't adapt? Is the fan base so wounded and now euphoric, ready to face possible setbacks without putting everything at risk once again? This is the great challenge for Peters, to turn enthusiasm into stability, and that's why this moment is so important for the future of the franchise. The question that won't go away is Adam Peters being underestimated by critics? Or does he still have a lot to prove to maintain this success? Are we witnessing the birth of a new golden era in Washington? Or was it just a fleeting shine amidst the darkness of the last decade? Don't forget to comment down below, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with other fans. Let's continue to follow every step of this journey.